Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Farmer Mike here from Mountain Ridge Farm, and just going to wait for a few people to tune in. I have some great news today. It's been like, I don't know, a month in the waiting. Sorry, I'm just got out of bed. I always have a great night's sleep here at the farm. It's so quiet, and just, I can tell I'm a very like a hypersensitive person. I could tell there's nothing going on around me either, in addition to being quiet. And your body just kind of knows that instinctively, and you sleep better than ever. So, all right, let's get right into it. This is a what are they called again? I put it on the title of this video. I don't even remember. I'm learning about grapes as we go. Tendrils. See, let me flip the camera around so that you can see what's going on. All right, now I'm seeing for the first time these tendrils. The grapevines have come through the tubes, the protective tubes that protect from wildlife, and they found my cattle panels, aka wires, because most people will grow grapes on wires, but I'm not, and it's wrapping these tendrils around here, and it's finding its way. This one seems to be a smart plant. It's finding its way because basically, it could go up all the way around to the top. We want them to grow all the way up so that the wildlife don't eat the actual fruit that it produces. So what I'm finding is, in the 2 weeks that we've been gone, this is probably the most advanced plant, although there's a couple right behind it. These may be like the 2 and 3 year old stocks that we were able to purchase. Every single vine is still alive here, which is great. But we're not going to have any fruit this year for sure, but at least I'm seeing progress after 2 weeks, because 2 weeks ago, this plant was down to about this level. So it grew all the way through that tube up to the top and popped out, and it's still here. The animals haven't eaten it. We have tons of wildlife here at the farm, everything from bears, turkeys, wild turkeys, deer, rabbits, and anything else you can think of. They're everywhere around here, which is great. And we're on the mountain ridge. That's actually at the top of the mountain right there where you can see the sky. All right, let's look at some of the other plants here, how they're doing, kind of surveying. I've got 10 grapevines. They're all sweet, different varieties that Denise picked out. All right, so over here, this one's tilted back a little bit. Let me get to the other side of this. We can see what's going on. That one is all the way down to about here. It's about halfway, almost halfway up. So this one's a slow grower, that's for sure. This one's not performing so well, but this one right next to it, look, it's popping out. Actually, this has made some progress just since yesterday. I watered it when I got here. You can see the tendrils looking for something down there. And I want to mention, I'm going to have to start pruning these. That's going to probably be my next video. There's grapes, like a lot of plants, have suckers that come out in between them. They'll have multiple branches that basically sap the energy from the main branch. You want everything to be concentrated on the main branch so you have higher fruit. So prune for better fruit, and you have to redirect. Hopefully these tendrils will find their way up here. And if not, after I come back next weekend, we'll probably be able to see what's going on and help to train them. All right, let's go over here. This one is kind of down low. Yeah, we're down also. This one's maybe 3/4 of the way up. 3/4 of the way up the tube. This one, I can see leaves. See, you can see the shadows of the leaves. This one's almost all the way up. Tendrils coming out. That's great. And of course, I noted the different varieties. I've got it on a note here on my phone. This one also almost all the way to the top. That's the one we started off with. So we've seen all 6 of these, how they're doing. We've got 4 more. This one's popping out the top. Tendrils. It's good to see those. I was really concerned for the longest time that I would never see them, because this area also doesn't have super amounts of light. This is way down. This one, look at this, way down there. It's bushing out too. I don't know what to do about that, but that's about 1/3 of the way up, I guess, but it just fills the whole tube. You can't see it from the top. Now this one I know is the slowest growing of all. I don't even know if you can see it there. Oh, it's all the way down there. Oh my gosh, all the way down. Yeah, this is only like 1/4 of the way up. I don't know if it's because this gets maybe the least amount of sun, and it may. We don't have full sun here because we're in the forest. We're under the tree canopy. So I'm glad these are growing, because I was a little bit concerned that it still may not be enough light. I just didn't want to cut the forest down, because we're forest bathing here. And it's phyto phytoicides, I think is what the chemicals that they release that apparently are good for humans, which I guess I'm breathing in right now. All right, now this one you can see is a little more than halfway up. Okay, so that's it. I mean, we are just gonna hopefully next week do a pruning video or a guiding video. We're gonna have to guide them along here. And let's get another angle. You can see how high this is. I can walk underneath of it. And it's not the wire method, right? Because a lot of these people have these big open fields. And I guess that's the most efficient way to do it, is put the wire. It's not really super scenic. This is more like a feature, I guess a cosmetic feature in a way, of a edible landscape. So we're trying to take the best of both worlds anyway. We're not doing any ornamental landscaping here, but this is in a way kind of almost that. And if you've done anything like this before, or if you know of anybody that has, let me know. I got this idea from Dave Mascatello of Planetary Farms. He has some of these. Somebody built him some over there in Hillsborough, Virginia, a few hours from here. All right, now let's try to survey the rest of the farm while we're here with the growth and the plants that we've been taking care of. All 10 of these grapes are doing great, which is excellent, because I can't say the same thing about the cherry trees. We're gonna go look at those, and also we'll look at this last one up here, which is not a cherry tree, that's our fig. So it's gonna be our first update on our fig. All right, first of all, let's go over here and look at the cherry trees. This one didn't make it. We already know the one's on the end. This one here, and I borrowed the other tube for the fig because it didn't make it. We did the scratch test. We have previous videos on that. Nothing going on there. These are doing great. Now we're about, I don't know, 3/5 of the way up the tube. You can see the foliage in here. And I've got the bird cap on there to keep birds. But as soon as this thing gonna be able to remove that, I think. So we're getting to that point. This one is not as tall. This one's only maybe halfway up, looks like, the leaves. Different variety. These are 3 different varieties. The 2 that didn't make it, just to kind of refresh your memory, they were both the same 4th variety. Now, this one's going like crazy. Look at this. All the way up here, thick leaves I can see in here. Maybe by next week, I may have to consider removing that. It's got to go up top. So the idea behind these tubes is that they're going to keep the wildlife from munching on them. And believe me, that's a huge problem here. Even though there's greenery, there's green everywhere, they know what they're looking for. It's kind of strange that they know what they're looking for. And I didn't think I was going to, I knew I would need some, based on some advice I'd received for these cherry trees, but I didn't think I would need anything for these grapes because they are generally pretty vigorous, but they couldn't keep up with the wildlife munching. All right, if we can make it with the signal, because I'm getting far away from my internet service in the 2nd floor of the house on the Wi-Fi. Still going. All right, let's take a look at what we can see here with the fig. You can see the foliage down here. It's only coming up about that high. It's not really any higher than it was when I planted it, but it's growing and it's green and it's protected. I don't know how long. This is designed for these cherry trees, this tube, not for the fig. But I'll talk with Farmer Dave over at Planetary Farms, since I volunteer there every week, and he'll help me out with this. We just have the aggressive wildlife, way more aggressive than he does, and that's saying something because he has some aggressive wildlife over there. There's just no humans around here. And in most parts of the earth, the percentage of biomass of native or natural wildlife is like a tiny little fraction of the human over the overall biomass of all living things, including farmed animals and humans, because farmed animals are obviously not wildlife. But out here on this mountain range where we are, the wildlife biomass is probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing 80% of the biomass on this mountain ridge where we are. This whole ridge, which is a long ridge. There's, in this county, Highland County, there's ridge valleys. It goes north, south, the ridges run, and the valleys in between. And it's probably like 80% of the biomass here is wildlife. So unique challenges for sure. All right, I probably should have had this camera on when I was talking to you, but you can see it's a little cloudy day today in the forest, and there's the fig. Let's walk back over here before I end the video. So just to kind of recap, we're a regenerative farm, totally organic, totally chemical free. We're only going to be fertilizing our plants in the springtime with our compost that we're constantly making. And the compost pile is over there. Actually, I'm going to walk over there. Why don't we walk over there to end this video to show you what the compost pile looks like. And keep in mind, I haven't added anything for 2 weeks. If you've seen some videos I've done in the past, you can see the compost pile is huge and full of color and life. And I guess the life that's left in there now is more the worms and bugs and everything doing their thing to make that into food for the plants. And the idea is we'll feed them every spring from there. But let's end this video with me walking over and checking it out. And you can see, actually, I kind of, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just show you from a distance what it looks like. I'm not going to go up to, I don't think I'm ready for a close-up on it. But you can see over here, that's our compost pile. And we're going to be digging out of that because we're not, we don't add to it over the winter time. So by the time spring rolls around, it's time for feeding. That's where we get our feed from. All right, so it's Farmer Mike signing out. I'll see you next video, which will probably happen next week. Let me know down below any comments that you have, questions that you have of what we're doing. And also to kind of let you all know, in case you didn't know, we're at 4,000 feet above sea level here. So it's climate zone 5A, I believe is what it is. All right, see you next video. Bye-bye.